Let's talk about personal finance for entrepreneurs, because here's a key thing that most entrepreneurs never really get. You only see this if you work with a lot of entrepreneurs, and you discover that money tends to be a huge problem for most entrepreneurs. Once we figure out how to make the money, which I realize many of you who are watching this are still in that stage, what ends up happening is we get really good at making it, but we're really bad at keeping it. Here's what we tend to do. We tend to reinvest it all in our existing business, which is great as long as our existing business is doing well. But if it tends to have a downturn, or worse, goes out of business or takes out bankruptcy, then you have nothing personally to hold you over, to retire on, to do all those other kinds of things. We tend to maybe start new businesses. Hey, I'm brilliant. I'm a brilliant entrepreneur. I can make money whenever I want to. And so then we go and we chase off this idea, which may not be a really good idea. And so we end up taking all of what could have been our personal nest egg and plow it into a whole bunch of different businesses, some of which will never, ever do well. Or we invested in other people's business. Our buddy comes to us and says, hey, I've got this idea. And we say, here's 100,000, go try it. And basically, I'm just telling you, this is what entrepreneurs tend to do. And then there's one more. Many entrepreneurs, especially in the digital or online marketing space, sometimes spend it on fancy cars and houses and vacations and etc. I got to tell you, this way of managing money for entrepreneurs is a huge mistake. What I found is that many entrepreneurs will face bankruptcy at some point in their lives, oftentimes after running a highly successful company. That company has a downturn, and all of a sudden, because they've never done anything personally to take their money off the table, they go down also. I'm partially telling you this because I'm guilty of this same thing. In my early days, I did exactly this. I do not recommend it. That's why I'm so passionate about this, just to let you know. So I'm not going to go into the reasons why entrepreneurs tend to do all those things in this video, though it is a very valuable thing to think about, because there's a whole set of mindset things and everything that go into that we will cover in another video. But so what I'd like to do here is I'd like to focus on the number one solution, the most important thing you can do to prevent this problem from happening in your own life. It's this: regularly pull money off the table. In other words, take it out of your business and put it into investments. Investments that do not rely upon you for success. So not your other companies, not even a friend's company, but things like, hey, there's this little thing called the stock market, and bonds and real estate and all kinds of things that are out there that, quote, normal people rely on to build a nest of savings. Okay, so that's my recommendation: is you regularly pull money off the table to put it into investments that don't rely on you for success. So here's my recommendation: pay yourself a generous regular salary. You work with yourself, you work with your tax guy, you work with your accountant to figure out what that amount should be, because in America we have this thing called Social Security taxes and Medicare that, you may not want to pay every cent that comes to you through a salary. Talk to your tax accountant and your financial planners to figure out what that right amount is. But pay yourself a generous regular salary. Then take at least 10% of everything that you earn, and it's yours to keep. This comes from a book called The Richest Man in Babylon, which I totally recommend. everyone should read. That was the first principle of becoming wealthy. At least 10%, well, he doesn't say at least, he says 10% of all I earn is mine to keep. I believe you should be doing that. So let's say you're taking a $100,000 a year salary. Great. 10,000 of that is yours to invest in places that are not involved directly with your business. Stocks, bonds, real estate, other kinds of things out there. Now, I'm going to make just one comment. I've said real estate a couple of times. Realize another piece of this is to have things that don't require your work to make it succeed. I do believe everyone should be in real estate. I don't believe that's what you should do with this 10%. Do that with some other money, okay? Another conversation for another time. Okay, so here, let's talk about how to do this. Obviously, you should use tax advantage plans like Roth IRAs and 401k plans and those kinds of things, etc. These give you the advantage of preferential tax treatment. So money either goes in without you having to pay taxes on it, and then you have to pay taxes when you take it out after you're 70 or whatever it is, or it goes in being fully taxed and then you get to take it out without ever having to pay taxes in the future. That's the Roth IRA aspect. I recommend that you do that, and so you're taking advantage of the preferential tax treatment. Now, there are limits. You're going to have to talk with a financial advisor to figure out all that. Again, we can talk about that in a future video, not in this one. Another advantage. You can't get at that money until you retire, which some people would say that's a disadvantage. If you're an entrepreneur, there's a real advantage in having that locked up so that you can't get to it. So here comes this next great idea. Your buddy comes to you and it's like, oh, he's got a brilliant idea and I want to put everything I have into that. No, because it's locked up in a retirement account. You can't get to it to be able to put into that. That's actually a good thing that will protect you in this situation. And then what you do is you take that money and you invest it like a normal person that doesn't run their own company. What this does, putting it into mutual funds and those kinds of things, gives you a diversified investment portfolio. So it's not totally reliant on your own companies to succeed to give you something to be able to retire on. It's not reliant on your success or worse, your failure, because I see this happen all the time. A company goes down for oftentimes no fault of the owner, and if everything was in it, he loses everything in that equation. It's also tax advantage, as we mentioned, and it tends to be, and if you do it right, it's managed by someone else so that you're not having to spend your time worrying about, did this particular stock go up or down? Which, at what point during the day do I buy it? No, it's like, get out of all that. You haven't got time to do this. This gives you freedom and retirement regardless of your business performance. Now, some would argue, and I at one point did argue this, which is one of the reasons why I'm making this, is because it's a failed argument. Some would argue that the best place to invest is in yourself, which you should do. And again, we're going to talk about that in a future video also. But I strongly recommend you take 10% of your income to diversify your holdings into places that are not reliant on your performance for success. Now, I am sure that many of you are saying, I can't afford this. I'm living hand to mouth right now. Do it anyway. Every single month. There's a big difference between, let's say you're bringing home $6,000 a month. There's a big difference between putting in $600 versus putting in 1/10 of $72,000, $7,200 right at the end of the year. That's hard. That's painful. But if you put in that $600 a month, it's a lot easier. And what's going to happen when you start doing this is you're going to be amazed at things that will work out when you do this. When you do it, this gives you peace of mind. It gives you downside protection. It gives you money freedom. It gives you exactly what you went into business in the first place for, but now it's doing it for you personally in addition to business-wise. What's your thoughts, experiences? Let me know in the comments. This is Don Crowther saying, just go do this stuff.